It's Jennifer Mazzarovo, president of Maverick Consulting Group, and for today, May 2nd, here's your Maverick Moment. So, I want to preface today's Maverick Moment by saying this is not a rant. And I'm sure that's going to raise a few alarm bells, but it really isn't. My Maverick Moment today is really meant as a coaching moment for all new CAs out there. And the reason why I say that is I've been working on several roles in the last few months for newer CAs coming right out of public accounting. And I've been finding some trends. And what I want to do is sort of relay some of my expertise and advice to you, take it or leave it. But based on my experience and my expertise, I want to really, unlike a lot of recruiters, I really want to give you that career coaching for free. And I want to give you some advice so that you can manage your career appropriately as you move your career forward. First of all, the spring market is very busy. It generally is a busy time of year and the busiest time of year. And what I've been finding is it's really a hot market for CAs coming right out of public accounting. Now, this is good for you if you're a CA coming out of public accounting. And while other people may tune out now after this and say, oh, well, I'm not a CA, so who cares? It's actually good advice for anyone listening that's looking at moving around or a career change. And my first piece of advice to you is take a risk. Take a risk. This isn't going to be the last move you ever make in industry. Yes, you want it to be a good one, and yes, you want to do your homework, and yes, you want to do research and prepare and make sure it's the right move for you. But what the right move is for you, might be the 80% solution. And sometimes 80% is okay. You are never going to find the 100% solution. I want to give you that advice now and get it out there on the table. The other thing is I want you to make sure that you are open to a variety of roles and industries and even location. Now, I'm going to put an asterisk next to location because I know that's a hot button. And honestly, it's a hot button for me too. My whole career was based on working relatively close to home. And, in the last 11 or 12 years, I've certainly been doing a horrendous commute. And now that I'm not doing that commute, I can tell you the stress that I don't have in my life anymore because of the commute is incredible. So I do want to put a little asterisk around commute because I think there are ways, certainly nowadays, people can telecommute or they can have flex work hours or certainly with the 407 and Go Transit and some other things. I think there's ways you can get around. Well, I only want to work 15 minutes from my house. Okay, let's get real. So, be open to roles, be open to industries. The other thing I wanted to say is as much as possible, don't be motivated by title and compensation. And I know there's going to be a backlash. And people are going to say, oh, you sound like my mother. Well, I'm probably old enough to be your mother, but that's another story. I don't want title and compensation to be your primary drivers because in my expert experience, because I've been in finance for 15 years and now recruiting for 11, yes, I'm old, but I can also tell you I've had many different experiences, both in finance and recruiting on the end of this spectrum. And what I can tell you is title and money fade over time. What it means is, I want you to have good scope. I want you to have a good culture, a good corporate culture that you're going to. And I want you to have some really good mentoring. And the last one is really hard to find. So while you're getting hung up on nickel and diming and why is so-and-so left the firm and they made $5,000 more than me, guess what? At the end of the day, none of that's going to matter. Because if you're going to a company only because of the money, or you're going to a company only because of the title, I'm sorry to tell you, at some point in your career, it's going to backfire. And it's going to hit you in the face that you probably made a short-sighted decision. And what I'm here to try to tell you in my wisdom and age is try to make better longer term decisions. I get it. We're all short term focused, instant gratification on our phones, Twitter, Yahoo, whatever. But you really do need to step back and think, is this the right move for me longer term? What's the size and scope of their finance team? Do they do international movements? Do they move people within finance and the business? I want to be in sales and marketing one day. So, is that going to help me? Or in valuations or M&A? You really have to look at the scope of the role, the culture that you're going to, and the mentoring that you're going to get. And you know what? Sometimes you can only assess those things when you've actually met the client. Yes, it means you need to make time to go for interviews. Now, I don't want people going for interviews just to kick things around and be a tire kicker, but I do want people to go on an interview after they have at least a 60 or 70% interest level after I speak with them about the role. Because no one is going to sell the role in the company better than the client. Although I do a great job, I want the client to be able to talk to the candidate, and the candidate gets to see their passion and understand what's really driving this person in the hiring. So again, the only way you're going to get that is by making the time, making the commitment, and actually getting yourself into the process and getting yourself into the mix. So take a risk, be open to the type of role, because the type of role, this isn't going to be your last move in industry. So you start off in internal audit. You're going to end up in finance 2 years from now in a core role. Or you start in finance and reporting. But guess what? You're learning the business by doing financial reporting. And who better to promote into an FP&A role than someone who already understands the financial reporting and how it all works and how it comes together and why this looks weird and the variances look off. So honestly, I am saying, take it from me. You guys need to take more risk, and you need to give things a shot. You need to be more open to different types of roles, internal audit, financial reporting. I know everybody wants the sexy jobs and everybody wants strategy and this and that. But guess what? You don't have any industry experience. And depending on the quality and the depth of your CA firm experience, you may not be ready yet to advise the CEO or CFO on strategy. So let's just dial it down a bit, guys and gals. And I want you to take the advice in the intention that it's meant, which is to help you, to coach you, to help guide you to make better decisions about leaving the firm and when. And I'm here as a resource. So that's my not rant for the day. Enjoy the rain and have an awesome week.